Hello, we are here to present the project of TS01. The group is composed by me, Nícolas Oliveira, and also by Eduardo, KRIK, ANTUNES de Lima. For this first part, we decided to present the themes OSHA, SST, and also the theme of ergonomy. So we're going to present the case 11, taking risks with asbestos, and then the snapshot 4, how to protect workers from asbestos risks. And after that, we're going to introduce ergonomy with the article Design of Work Systems, and then the dossier for sustainable prevention of MSD in the workplace. First, we would like to introduce what is OSHA SST. So OSHA SST stands for Occupational Safety and Health Administration, Safety and Health at Work. It refers to the European Agency for Safety and Health at Work, which is an European agency responsible for collecting, analyzing, and disseminating information on occupational safety and health here in Europe. This agency works to promote safer and healthier workplaces by providing research, guidance, and support to both employees and workers across various sectors, including the health and social care sector. So here is the case 11, which is the first that we are dealing with. Taking risks with asbestos, what influences the behavior of maintenance workers. And the theme is OSHA SST, as I said. So here we're going to introduce the agencies that we talked about. The first one is the Institute for Employment Studies, IES, Health and Safety Executive, HSE. Both are located in United Kingdom, and IES is leading independent center for research and evidence-based consultancy. They provide insights on employment and human resources management topics to improve health, policy and practice. HSE is a regulatory agency in the United Kingdom responsible for enforcing health and safety legislation in the workplace, and it was established under the Health and Safety at Work by the Act 1974, which is the primary piece of legislation governing health and safety in the United Kingdom. So here we're going to introduce what is asbestos. It's a very dangerous substance if not dealt with correctly. Many tons of asbestos were used in building materials until 99, and much of this is still present in the built environment, so it's used since a long time ago. And asbestos is contained in a wide variety of different products and can be difficult to identify. And they are dangerous because breathing this substance can lead to various asbestos-related diseases. And then we're gonna talk about the 4 types of them. Continuing, here we present some data. So first, asbestos still kill around 5,000 workers each year. This is more than the number of people killed on the road, for example. Around 20 tradesmen die each week as a result of past exposure, and it can be present today in any building built or refurbished before the year 2000. As I said, we're going to present the 4 main diseases. So the first one is mesothelioma, a cancer of the lining of the lungs or digestive tract. The second one is asbestos-related lung cancer. It is the same as lung cancer, caused by smoking or other causes, but in this case, the main factor is the asbestos exposure. We also have asbestosis, which is a serious scarring condition of the lung, and this condition can cause progressive shortness of breath, and in severe cases can be fatal or result in death. And we also have pleural thickening. The lining of the lung, the pleura, thickens and swells. If it gets worse, the lung itself can be squeezed and can cause shortness of breath and discomfort in the chest. And it's also important to remember that people who smoke and are also exposed to asbestos fibers are much greater risk of developing lung cancer. And here we have some additional information. It is unclear exactly what levels of exposure cause these diseases, but it is known that the more asbestos fibers are breathed in, the greater the risk to health. And other factors that may affect the risk of developing ARDs are the duration of the contact, the fiber type, and the chemicals that individuals may be exposed to, their age, sex, diet, family traits, lifestyle, and general state of health. And according to HSE, there can be a long delay between the very first exposure to asbestos and the onset of the disease, anywhere between 15 and 60 years. Here are the aims and objectives of the research. The aim of the research was to find out why maintenance workers don't always follow the HSE guidance and to identify ways of encouraging workers to follow the guidance in the future. And to explore this, the workers were encouraged to discuss their attitudes, awareness, knowledge, and behavior around asbestos. They were invited to share their personal experiences of working with asbestos and how they dealt with it, how they felt about the situation, and other related issues. They were also asked to rate how knowledgeable they felt they were about the range of asbestos related diseases. And four options were provided. The first one was you know about it and understand it pretty well. The second one, you know a little bit about it, but you are not confident you know enough. You don't know, but you feel that you should, and you don't know, and you don't know, and you don't need to know. Uh, about the scope of the project, what and how it was done. By 60 interviews, the participants were identified through around 30 intermediates. Around 3,000 sole traders were sent a letter with an opt-in slip attached, and all participants were given a 20 euros gift voucher on the completion of the interview, and each interview lasts between 20 and 90 minutes. Here we have some success factors. So what was achieved? The study showed that there are a complex range of factors that influence individual behaviors, and the report also identify a range of issues that affect an individual's safe behavior around asbestos. So there can be technical issues, psychological issues, cultural factors, or control factors. And what was discovered was that attitudes towards behaving safely are the result of two adverse forces. The first one is the negative impact of not behaving safely, and the other one is the positive benefits of doing so. And in order to translate the intention of behaving safely into practice, it is important that employees have sufficient knowledge of appropriate preventive measures, and the limitations was that the findings of this report didn't have been systematically integrated into further development of existing training packages or preventive initiatives. And there is also a limited data about the practical application of the report findings. And now we go to snapshot 4. We try to choose one that is related to the case. So we choose the 4 because it's about how to protect workers from asbestos risks, also in the theme of OSHA SST. So the issue, um, what do we know about the organization? Now we are dealing with an Italian organization, and the issue under discussion is how to raise awareness and train construction workers about the risks of asbestos, help construction workers understand the current regulations about the handling of asbestos, and also how to improve compliance with these regulations. And some teaching and educational tools were developed, such as the package was intended for employees carrying or building maintenance at shipyards where there was the risk of exposure to asbestos. About the aims and objectives, the main objective was to provide a flexible training package, including plenty of images intended to attract attention of learners and make sure construction workers aware of the key risks and the most suitable preventive measures needed to carry out their work safely. And the other goal was to develop an interactive self-learning test for technicians and employers. What actions were taken? The first one was the creation of a training package for technicians and employers, consisting of a manual and a CD-ROM, including case studies, best practice measures, and situations that must be avoided. And the manual consists of 3 different parts. The CD-ROM has a similar structure. The first part, concepts and definitions applicable to risk related to reconstruction or refurbishment work involving asbestos. The second part describes the safe working procedures and the contents of the work plan required by current regulations. And the third part offers a self-learning interactive test, and the wrong answers given by the reader carry him back to the relevant sections of the manual. Results. What results have been achieved? The courses created great interest amongst construction workers, especially the presentation of solutions for handling asbestos, as well as the explanation of current regulations of how to comply with this. And the concept has also been used in training programs at universities. And about the transferability, how this study could be used in other fields, for example. The development training concept covers the situation in Italian shipyards. A transfer to other sectors and countries would need to consider the possible construction differences and the differences in national legislation.
Okay, so my name is Eduardo, and I'm gonna present first the theme. So, ergonomics is the scientific study of the interactions between humans and other elements of a system, such as machines, equipment, work environments, and even tasks performed. Its main objective is to design and organize these elements in a way that optimizes human performances and reduces the risk of injuries and fatigue. It considers a variety of factors, including the physical and cognitive capabilities of humans, as well as their limitations and preferences. And it seeks to create work environments that are safe, efficient, and comfortable for the people who use them. So now is the article that we are going to talk about, the design of work systems. Does the application of ergonomics standards improve safety? So the importance of ergonomics in work system design. It has the recognition of the crucial importance of ergonomics from the early stages of work system design. The discussion of the benefits of considering ergonomic aspects in efficiency, safety, and worker health. It emphasizes on creating environments and workstations adapted to users' capabilities and needs. Um, the presentation of evidence demonstrating the reduction of accidents and improvement in productivity and worker satisfaction with ergonomic approaches. So there are an overview of existing standards. So the framework is governed by ISO Technical Committee TC159, the oversight by CEN Technical Committee TC122, and the norms category, which are 22 international standards, 54 European standards by ISO-EN, and 24 European standards by CEN. And there are also multiple numbers of national standards. So this structure and representation is it's the involvement of subcommittees and working groups, the collaboration between industry experts and researchers, and the continuous review and updates to reflect advancements in ergonomics. So the application of the ergonomic standards, um, it provides the insights into the current focus areas within the ergonomic standardization. So we have the first one, the SC1, which talks about the ergonomic principles. Um, it talks about the basic concepts and design principle for work systems, the mental workload, and the usability of everyday products. Uh, we have also the SC3, the anthropometry and biomechanics. It talks about the classic physical parameters, the human body measurements, and biomechanical considerations. And the SC4, the human system interaction, which talks about the design issues, the screen based work environments and control centers. The SC5, the physical environment ergonomics, which talks about the international standards for thermal environment issues and verbal communication and hazard signals. So problems related to the application of ergonomic standards. We have the lack of specificity. The existing standards often provide general guidelines rather than a specific solutions tailored of to complex work systems. The complexity of systems, which especially those involving process controls, pose unique design challenges that require specialized ergonomic considerations. We have also the need for professional expertise. While standards offer general principles, resolving specific design problems requires a deep understanding of ergonomics and human factors. We have the limited application for voluntary adoption of ergonomic standards is not widespread, and there's a need to motivate designers and use to prioritize human factors in system design. So perspectives and conclusions, we have the transitioning from standards to practice, recognizing the need for a more comprehensive approach to integrate ergonomic principles into the design of complex work systems beyond more compliance with standards. The importance of ergonomic expertise, which emphasize the critical role of ergonomic professionals in addressing specific design challenges and translating general principles into actionable solutions. So we have also the human-centered design, which shifts towards holistic approaches beyond minimal requirements. The leveraging ergonomic knowledge, uh, which is the stressing the untapped potential of ergonomic data and expertise in enhancing functional safety and optimizing the performance, healthy and safety work systems. And the continuous improvement. which is encouraging ongoing efforts to refine design practices, integrate ergonomic principles seamlessly into the design of process, and prioritize the well-being and efficiency of human operators. So now we have the other dossier, which we chose the dossier for sustainable prevention of MSDs in the workplace. It is also the theme of ergonomy. So we have a little introduction, with what is the MSDs, the musculoskeletal disorders. It encompasses a range of conditions affecting muscles, tendons, ligaments, nerves, and joints. They can result from various factors such as repetitive movements, awkward postures, and prolonged exposure to ergonomic risk factors in the workplace. Here are common examples of MSDs. It includes low back pain and shoulder injuries, causing pain, discomfort, reduces mobility, and functional limitations, impacting an individual's ability to perform tasks both at work and in daily life. They are prevalent in various industries and occupations, posing significant challenges to employee health and organization productivity. So the importance of the prevention. The organization of work and managerial practices are key elements in understanding and preventing MSDs, as they cascade to influence the conditions of work and the biomechanical, psychological, psychosocial, and environmental characteristics of work situations that workers must face. So basically, it means that the work environment must adapt for the worker and not the contrary. As it shows in the image, the individual is the center, and a lot of things can affect him, such as the physical or chemical exposure, and consequently affecting his health and the quality of work in his career. So there are some risk factors uh, resulting from various influences in the occupational environment. Understanding these risks fast factors is essential for effective prevention. Here are some of the key factors contributing to MSDs. So we have the natural nature of work tasks like repetitive tasks, forced movements, awkward postures, and handling heavy loads are major risk factors. We have also the ergonomic conditions. So poorly ergonomic work environments can lead to excessive strains on muscle joints, thus promoting the development of MSTs. Also the workload, so excessive time constraints, work overload, and frantic production rates increase physical and psychological stress. The physical environment, so all the vibrations, extreme temperatures, exposure to chemicals, and other environment factors can also contribute to MSDs. And the individual factors, the age, gender, medical history, level of physical fitness, influence to MSDs. So what are the high risk groups? So there are some of them, including the manufacturing and food industry workers, the low skilled employees in the service sector, like the service agents, nursing assistants, home aides, cashiers, etc. Uh, the elderly workers, due to the increasing occurrence with age of associated disorders or illness, like diabetes or obesity, the office workers who spend long periods typing on the computer, the construction workers who perform repetitive movements such as cutting, hammering, or screwing. And here we can see we have some statistics and economic impact from the year 2011 to 2015, and we can see some conditions provoked by certain gestures and work postures, which have the highest numbers of syndromes and victims on the tableau, all of them above 70% of the cases. After we have some considered chronic conditions regarding the manual handling of heavy loads with 5 to 6% of cases, but still it's important. Another statistic is about the chronic meniscus injury, with basically 1% of the number of syndromes, but in victims on those years. But of course, it would be better if it had none of these numbers. So we have some prevention strategies that can be categorized into three main types: the primary, secondary, and tertiary. Each type aims to intervene effectively at different stages of disorder, development to minimize risk and promote worker health. So we have the primary prevention. So it focuses on eliminating or reducing risk factors before MSDs occur. For example, the modification of equipment and tools to reduce physical strain, the implementation of ergonomic training programs to promote safe postures and movements. We have also the secondary prevention, which aims on an earlier identification and swift intervention to minimize the damage caused by the MSDs. So some of the examples are the regular screening of workers' musculoskeletal health, the implementation of an early rehabilitation programs for workers with early symptoms of MSDs. And we have the tertiary prevention, which focuses to limit the impact of established MSDs and prevent recurrences. For example, the comprehensive rehabilitation programs for workers with established MSDs, and a workplace with modifications to accommodate workers with functional limitations. So that's our presentation. Merci pour votre temps.